Were you surprised to see Mallikarjun Kharge's name now officially, not just speculatively, but officially promoted as a possible prime ministerial contender by both Mamata Banerjee and Arvind Kejriwal? And my second question is related. Does it set the cat among the pigeons, not so much for the BJP, but actually for the Congress party?
Thank you, Barkha. Always a pleasure talking to you. Uh, I was not surprised at all because in Karnataka, the followers of Kharge and and people in the Congress party have been making this proposition that Mr. Kharge is a potential prime ministerial candidate. So this thing did not come to me as a surprise. But what came to me as a surprise was that it was proposed in the manner that it was proposed yesterday, and it looked like a calculated mischief on the part of Mamata Banerjee and Arvind Kejriwal.
You're using the word mischief. Why do you use
Yes,
the word mischief?
that is because it sort of sends a very clear signal to Rahul Gandhi that he is not someone who's preferred. So that is signal number one. The signal number two is it's also trying to checkmate Nitish Kumar, who has always been very keen to be the convener of the India bloc. In fact, if you remember, it was he who took the initiative to call the very first meeting of the opposition bloc in Patna. And I know through sources that his name had been almost finalized as convener in the very first meeting, but it did not happen because there were very strange kind of hands which sort of blocked it. So that was so Mamata was also checkmating Nitish, and she did not want Nitish's name to emerge in this meeting. Third, it was also trying to signal Mayawati, trying to tell her that, see, if you don't wake up, then Karge may sort of come in. And the Uttar Pradesh landscape is so very important for 2024 because the largest number of seats are there, and then you also know the kind of the vote cuts that can happen, or the kind of disturbance that Mayawati's party can create in the Hindi heartland. See, there are states where she got 4% vote share or 5% vote share this time, the December round of assembly elections. But that 5% is the consolidated vote share of her party. But if you look
Hmm.
at seats, she has damaged the Congress party in a lot number of, in say 10, 20, 30 seats. And if that had not happened, probably the Congress would have sailed through or would have performed better. So it's a message to Mayawati as well by through
So, so,
Mamata,
so, so,
and
so, so
also
you're
the
saying,
OBC.
yeah.
OBC, it's also a signal to the OBCs and the upper castes. So she has actually played. She has done a great favor to the NDA alliance by propping up Karge's name. And you and I know, Barka, that whosoever name comes first is also removed first from the list.
Okay, so hang on. You've said a number of interesting things. I'll start with the
Yeah.
last first. You are
Yes.
saying that instead of being some grand disruptive political idea,
Yeah.
by mooting Mr. Kharge's name officially, and today she's confirmed it in public on camera,
Yes.
you are saying she's done the NDA a favor because
Yes.
this
Yes.
proposal is going to achieve the following things. It's going to cause consternation within the Congress. It's a signal to the
Yes.
Gandhis or to Rahul Gandhi, we don't want you.
Right.
It's going to create a flutter in the OBC leaders of the India Alliance. Nitish Kumar,
Yes.
Lalu Yadav are already reported to have expressed their disagreement. Some reports suggest they left the meeting early and so on. We don't have official confirmation of this. And
Right.
three, you're basically saying it creates a certain amount of confusion in the OBC leaders, at large, and now we don't know how Mayawati might respond.
Right.
Why do you Are you saying this is an intended favor to the NDA or an unintended one? What are you actually
it
implying?
it may it's sort of try it's a game of politics. It may be intended or unintended, but clearly she does not want somebody else to take over the convenership of the India bloc. And Mamta, as far as her 2024 game is concerned, I think she's pretty secure. She is going to be the single largest party in West Bengal, in terms of the number of seats that she may get there. and she is not dependent on anybody within the India bloc to support her. So, in fact, she has been resisting an alliance with the CPM. Although she said that, in the larger interest, I may consider and all that. She is not dependent on anybody. She is a standalone kind of person there. And Mamata is a Banerjee, she's an upper caste person, and she's
Hmm.
taking a Dalit name, and she's sort of gaining personal brownie points. But she also knows that the Dalit landscape in India is not a flat one. There is a stratification within the Dalits. And Kharge, in the last 1 year or 1 year and a few months that he has been president of the Congress party, has done nothing to signal to the Dalit demography that he is there, and he is not trying to shore up any support for himself or for the Congress party. If you just look at what has happened in the elections in the three states, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, and Madhya Pradesh, the number of reserved Dalit seats was cornered by the BJP. I think I have the numbers here. See, in
Hmm.
Chhattisgarh, out of 10 seats, Barkha, they got four, and they were two last time. In Madhya Pradesh, they have got 26 out of 35 reserved seats, and last time they were only 18. And Rajasthan, they were,
Yeah.
I think, 12 last time, and they've become 22 out of 34.
Yeah, I
So,
have the overall. I have the
yeah,
overall numbers. Let me help you out there. Actually,
yeah,
in Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, and Chhattisgarh, the BJP's tally in reserved seats, the scheduled caste
yes,
seats, went up from 32, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, 32 in 2018 to
yes,
57 in
absolutely,
2023.
yes,
Telangana was a different story. Telangana
yeah.
was a different
Telangana, they were
story
not in the contest. Yes,
where the Congress, if we can
yeah,
flip the banner now, you'll see the Congress numbers where the Congress actually went from 2 to 14 in the SC seats. But
right,
what is important is this assumption that a Dalit PM candidate would be a game changer by itself, you are
right.
saying doesn't necessarily hold true, because actually Dalits, at least in the recent three Hindi heartland states, have voted in greater numbers for the BJP.
That is absolutely right. And also, the Dalit landscape is not a flat landscape, it is a stratified landscape. There are Dalits and there are Dalits. If you come
Yeah.
to Karnataka, the Dalits, the subsection of the Dalits that Karge belongs to, is placed higher in the hierarchy of Dalits, and there are Madigas below. And then when the Telangana campaign was happening, you saw Modi trying to create a separate quota for the Madigas. A similar kind of battle has been happening in Karnataka, where the Congress hopes to perform well. But from 2008 on, the largest, the most oppressed Dalits have gone with the BJP. And from 2008 on, it is Yediyurappa who has controlled the Madiga seats in Karnataka. So even in Telangana, they try to divide the Dalits on this basis, but they're naturally divided because the reason is the Karge community has usurped power for the last 50 years. They have not shared power with their other Dalit brethren, and there is a lot of anger. So when Modi came about, making that argument into 2014, I think they got about 24% vote share, Dalit vote share across the country. And 2019, it was a jump of 10%, Barkha. It was 34% Dalit vote share that the BJP cornered. So,
Hmm.
so where is Karge in all this? Is my question. Karge
let,
has
let me let,
not.
let, let me ask you this. You have said Kharge has not actually done anything to reassert himself as a
Yes,
Dalit leader. And we'll come to that in a moment. But are you saying that there are no positives? Let me try and argue for a brief moment from the other side. 10-time MLA, three-time member of parliament, has been a stabilizing influence on the Congress party and its warring factions, can speak 6 to 8 languages, is a pretty unruffled sort of political figure, is grassroots, is self-made. His children may now be in politics, but nobody can accuse him of having inherited power. He has all of those pluses. That's one set of arguments. The other set of arguments is Nitish and Lalu may be sulking in private, the Congress may be confused in private, but can they really afford to say? Can anybody in the India Alliance afford to say, no, we oppose this?
yeah, the last point first, Bharka. the fact that they're not able to say it publicly because it's politically incorrect to say so is far more dangerous in politics, because they'll work inside against the whole proposition. So that
Hmm.
aside, there are a lot of positives. I mean, I completely concede a lot of points that you raised, that Kharge is a very seasoned man. He's a multilingual. He's extremely well read. There's certainly a better choice than Shashi Tharoor. We had argued this a year and a half ago. All that because we are talking about this
Is he a
proposition a
better
little bit.
choice than Rahul Gandhi?
Yes, certainly. I mean, because there is the symbolism of the
Yeah.
oppressed community in his name and his community. He belongs to that community. There is a lot of symbolism. But what has the Congress done after it made him the president is the question. It is not so much Kharge's fault. The Congress did not help Kharge build an emotional connect between himself and the community after he was put on the biggest chair in the Congress party. So the problem is that there is no emotional connect between Kharge and the Dalit community. So you may be a Dalit leader. See, for 50 years in Karnataka, Barkha, uh, Kharge is seen by the Dalit movement itself as someone who is from the community but not for the community. He has always enjoyed power for 50 years. And if you're in power for such a long time, sustained periods, decades of power, you become risk averse. So Kharge has not done anything earth shaking when it comes to Dalit mobilization or whatever. The most interesting thing is, Barkha, in 2008, when he was the Pradesh Congress president, and when they went to election, they lost under him, and most of the reserved seats were taken away by the BJP. So, as a Dalit president, when he led the Congress party to elections in Karnataka, they lost. So, because he has never been able to build that emotional connect with the community, but he has been a kind of representative of the community by the fact that he was
So you're
born
saying
into
he's
that
never
community.
you're saying he's never really owned his caste identity in a way that he's been able to build emotional bridges with other sort of members of the same caste community.